はい、こんにちは。これは尊敬語 Honorific verbs のビデオです。これ、パート1。パート2、パート3、多分あります。super humble expressions verbs のビデオも作ります。でもこれは尊敬語 Honorific verbs。で、before I start the video, I need to mention that this grammar item is difficult. 難しいです。And in level 10, we will only spend 3 hours, 2 classes, or maybe 2 classes and a half to study these grammar items. I don't expect you to master this. When I teach business Japanese, I spend 5, 10 hours for only for these grammar items. So don't get stressed by this. And if you don't get it 100%, that's okay. And will you use this? I don't know. If you're thinking about taking JLPT N4, you will need to know this, Sonkeigo and Kenchogo. Or if you are thinking about working at Japanese company, eventually you will need this. But at this point, level 10, there are more important expressions, grammar items for you to study. So I don't think this grammar item, Sonkeigo and also Kenjogo, are the ones that you want to focus on right now at this stage. But I think it's good to know the concept of Sonkeigo and Kenjogo, and you might hear some phrases in Japan when you travel, like at a restaurant or at a hotel, airport. So it's good to know. But um, if you can't use it, it's okay. では、いきます。Because it's on Genki and I have to teach you level 10. So we'll do this. ではちょっと画面をシェアします。これ元気で、なんだっけ、たけしと部長の会話です。部長が、シアトルから帰りました。ね。これ、もし、ストーリーを覚えてなかったら、if you don't remember the story, Google ドックに、この、スライドがあります。で、オーディオ、これね、聞いてください。で、もし元気だったら160ページ。で、ここに、この、なんか、エクスプレッションですね。お疲れになったでしょう。召し上がってからお帰りになりますかとか、お休みになってとか、お伝えください。これ、前勉強した動詞、verbs とちょっと違います。どうこれ、we talked about what this verb means. Remember? 召し上がる means to eat, 食べる。But what's the differences between 食べます、召し上がる。で、that's what we are going to study. 今日勉強します。これね。この敬語。So, 敬語 means polite expressions. で、mainly there are three polite expressions. We know this one already. 丁寧語 polite form, which means ます form. 食べます、行きます、読みます。で、when we use 丁寧語、you just speak politely to the listener. Subject は、主語は誰ですか when you use polite form? It could be anybody, right? It can be me, myself, you, or dogs, cats, anything, anyone could be the subject of 丁寧語 mass form. We already know this. で、whereas 尊敬語 honorific verbs これ we use 尊敬語 to show respect to the person you are talking about. なので、尊敬語を使うとき、when you use 尊敬語 the subject has to be the person you are showing respect to. ね。It can't be yourself, myself. It's always the person you are showing respect to. で、例えば、丁寧語で、食べます。So regular mass form, 食べます。尊敬語 we already know this. 召し上がる。 で、the verb, ごめん、not verb, the verb, subject is the person you are showing respect to, right? So imagine you are talking to the celebrity. For me, this person who's a really fast runner, he is a former Olympian or something, and I'm talking to him. I want to show respect to the person. So when I'm talking about that person, if the person is the subject, I will use 尊敬語. If the person is eating cookies, I would say, oh, 彼はクッキーを召し上がる。彼はクッキーを食べます is fine, grammatically correct and polite. But if you want to show more respect, you could say 彼はクッキーを召し上がる。召し上がります。で、これ、there's no direct translation in English, 召し上がる。But if I try really hard, you're saying, これ、you are the person, the former Olympian, is graciously putting food into his mouth. Sounds very weird, でも that's what we do. This is what this is what the word 召し上がる means. で、but you don't want to use 尊敬語 when you talk about your action because that's weird, right? You are showing respect to yourself. We don't do that because when you use 尊敬語, when you are the subject, it sounds like you're saying, oh, I'm superior to other people. I am higher in social hierarchy. And we don't do that. It's just wrong in Japanese. So when you talk about yourself, your action, when you are the subject, the meaning is you humble yourself when talking about your actions, things that you do. We use 謙譲語. So, the former Olympian は召し上がるでしょ? But if you eat, you would say いただく. 私もクッキーをいただきます。で、このいただく You probably know this word, いただきます. Before you eat food, we say いただきます. That いただきます came from this word, いただく. Then here you are saying, there's no direct translation, but if I try really hard, you are saying, oh, you, the former Olympian, is allowing me to put cookies into my mouth. こんな感じ。ちょっと変だけど、これ、by using honorific verbs and humble expressions, humble verbs, you are showing respect to this person. And again, when the person you are showing respect to is the subject, you don't want to use 謙譲語. ごめん、that was not clear. And you can't use the person you are showing respect to, なんだっけ, as a subject of humble expressions. When you use 謙譲語, the subject has to be yourself, not the other person you are showing respect to. Yeah. I wrote your side. This is more for work. Team, your team, my colleagues, my company, but we'll talk about this later, not today. で、他にも、例えばこれ、います to exist. 尊敬語 will be いらっしゃる. And then I think you know this word too. If you go to a store or restaurant, waitress or shop staff will say, いらっしゃいませ. That いらっしゃいませ came from this. They are showing respect to you. You are the one who came into the store and then they are recognizing, they are showing the recognition and saying, いらっしゃいませ, welcome. で、when you go, おる. Not go, ごめん. When you exist, you say おる. 変だよね. And there's another one. 見ます. To watch, to look at. 尊敬語 will be ご覧になる. 謙譲語、拝見する. What? right? You just need to remember these words. That's why I said 謙譲語、尊敬語 is difficult. They are difficult. で、このコンセプト。このコンセプトずっと日本にありました。We had this in Japan for a long time. But, この、敬語 system was established in Edo era. We had it before Edo era, but it became more important in Edo era because Edo era, like samurai. That's when shogun came out. 徳川家康とか、豊臣秀吉. So the people around them needed to show respect to them, and they wanted to humble themselves, so then they can show more respect. And then we still use these expressions in modern Japanese society world です。で、そうしたら、ちょっとクイズです。ここに、ちょっと待って、クイズの前に I forgot to mention this. Now you're probably thinking, I don't need this. I'm just gonna stick to master form. I don't need to know. I don't need to remember any of this. But there are some words that are useful probably for you if you travel to Japan. For example, 召し上がるこれ、if you stay at a traditional Japanese hotel, ホテル、旅館これね、this is your room. And おかみさん the people there will come to your room and then ask you, お食事を何時にお召し上がりになりますか What time would you like to eat dinner? And then they will use 尊敬語 when they talk to you because they want to show respect to you. 何時にお召し上がりになりますかで、ごめんごめん。何時にお召し上がりになりますかわーごめん。で、when you answer, you can use 謙譲語 That's cool. But you can actually use 丁寧語 That's enough. 例えば、you could say, 7時にいただきます。That's cool. That's what Japanese people might do. But you can also do, 7時に食べます。That's 100% fine. Completely fine. But you might hear some words like 召し上がる。では、そしたらこれちょっとクイズです。これ、普通のディクショナリー verb と、この、ごめん、尊敬語をマッチできますかちょっとビデオ止めて。OK? こんな感じ。はい。答えです。行く、ごめん。いる、行く、来る、いらっしゃる。食べる、飲む、we already know です。召し上がる。くれる、くださる。する、なさる。寝る、お休みになる。見る、ご覧になる。言う、おっしゃる。で、これ全部 dictionary form です。So, I know these are already very polite 尊敬語 but you wanna change these to must form. これね、全部 we consider these as u verbs. So, 召し上がる will be 召し上がります。お休みになる will be お休みになります。ね。But Japanese language loves exceptions. So これ、いらっしゃる、いらっしゃいます。You wouldn't hear いらっしゃいませ、right? It's いらっしゃいませ。そう、これ、いらっしゃいます。くださる、くださいます。なさる、なさいます。おっしゃる、おっしゃいます。でもまあ、don't get stressed by this. ね。で、these are special verbs, right? But not all the verbs have special verbs. これ、例えば、読む。 読むは special word がありません。So what we do when we use 尊敬語を stem form になる。読むにをつけます。を読む change it to stem form お読みになる。お読みになる。先生が漫画をお読みになる。弾く to play でしょ弾く add お弾く what's the stem form for 弾く弾きお弾きになる。ね。鈴木。Oh, Suzuki-san is a very typical and common name in Shizuoka. 私のクラスに、elementary school かな、鈴木さんが5人ぐらいいた。鈴木さん。どうでもいいや。ごめん。鈴木さんが帰る。帰るをつけて、おかえ、ステムフォーム、おかえりになる。とかね。で、最後、important です。走る also doesn't have a special honorific word. So you add お走る、お走る、and then change it to stem form お走りになる。部長がレースをお走りになる。ね。そう。これ、もし時間があったら、if you have time, この these new verbs that we studied, the first class, you try to change these verbs into, 何尊敬語。例えば、引っ越す、お引っ越しになる。引っ越す doesn't have special verbs, so お引っ越しになる。これはお腹が、and then add o before verbs, お腹がお好きになる。お疲れになる。お知り合いになる。お送りになる。おね、double O. And then this one, するだから、する becomes remember? これ。する、する、する、する、なさる。そう、遠慮なさる。あ、ごめん。これじゃなかった。これ。遠慮なさる。およりになる。ね。なんか、タングトゥイスターみたいな感じですね。で、これクラスでやりました。これ山下先生は何してますか？ちょっと元気見てやってみてください。何ページかわかりません。ごめん。We're not gonna do all of these. 例えば、これ。山下先生はテレビをご覧になる。そう、見る、ご覧になるでしょ。Special verb。これ。山下先生はお休みになる。そう、休む doesn't have No, actually, no. No. 寝るだ。寝る、お休みになる。See, I'm a Japanese person and I'm getting confused. これ、料理をなさる。する。だからね。Even for Japanese people, 尊敬語、謙譲語 are difficult. When we graduate college, university, and then start working, some people take classes. Even when I write emails to Japanese companies and then I use Sonkeigo, Kenjogo, I have to reread my email 2, 3 times just to make sure that I'm using right words. So 難しいです。I say this many times, but don't get stressed by this. なんじゃこれ。ごめん。で、これも元気です。もしやりたかったらやってください。で、before I finish, なんじゃこれ。ごめん。これ、私、まあ、yourself. Who do you use 謙譲語、尊敬語 to? ね。例えば、これ、会社の上司、boss. When you talk to them, you want to use 尊敬語 and 謙譲語 because you want to show extra respect to them. これね。But when they talk to you, I don't know. Depends on what kind of person he is or she is. But they could use kenjogo, sonkego when they talk to you. But most cases, they will use just masu form when they talk to you. What about this one? これ、we just saw. 旅館とか、ホテルとか、レストランの人。When they talk to you, they will use 尊敬語、謙譲語 because they want to show respect to you. You are a customer. When you talk to them, that's totally up to you. You can use 尊敬語、謙譲語 to show some respect to them, the workers, or must form is enough too. So that's your choice. Like convenience store, when I go to conveni, I use must form, even sometimes casual form. But if I go to, I don't know, nice hotels and then they are talking to me in Sonkego, Kenjogo, then probably I will use that too, just to show some respect. But must form is completely fine. And this one, client or customer, they will use 성격고, kenjogo. But if you are very close with them, then must form. So it really depends on what kind of relationships you gotta have. Like if very close, then must form is fine. New client, probably kenjogo, 성격고, both side. ね。なので, as you know, context is very important in Japanese. We did this activity in class, but we're not gonna do that now. そう、さあ、これが尊敬語でした。これ part 1. There will be part 2, maybe 3. でも、お疲れ様でした。はいはい。じゃあ、おしまいです。